If you're gay, then you're gay. Don't pretend that you're straight. You could be who you are any day of the week.
In this context, there's no disrespect, so when I bust my rhyme, you break your necks. We got 5 minutes for us to disconnect from all intellect and let the rhythm affect you. Use the inhibition, follow your intuition. We on the sort of record with tradition. Cause we be out, but it's really be that. With the now, we now shit out. Till it's burned out, till it's burned out. Act up from northwest east side out. Everybody, let's get into it. Get started, get started, get started, get started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Lose control of body and soul. Don't move it fast, just take it slow. Don't get ahead, just jump into it. Right here, about it, please do it. Get started, get stupid. Don't worry about it, people want to do it step by step like the infant new kid. It's my ass with a new solution. Straight hits with no delusion. The feelings are resistant on how we move it. Everybody, let's get into it. Get stupid, get started, get started, get started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Come on, let's get it. That's the ill, that's the deal. Applicate a little bit of fun top drill. Lose your mind, this is the time. Your case is still just bang your spine. Bob your head like the Apple D. Inside your glove or in your belly. Get messy, now they're sick. Your mind, that's more than another head trip. Come to now, not corrected. Let's get ignorant, let's get hefty. Everybody, let's get into it. Get stoked, get started, get started, get started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Sonic1245 here. Welcome back to GSA Forever. So, in the last video that we did of What You Don't Know, yes, we read through the chapter Rosie, and apparently Jay asked Rosie out on a date. What is going on here? This is a boy-on-boy story, but I'm not seeing anything so far. So, here's the last chapter, here's the last paragraph of chapter 16, Rosie. He didn't really give me a chance to say anything back. He went right under the wire to Rose, and rose to the surface, at least 10 feet away from me. He was laughing at himself, and I was glancing at Rosie. She caught my eye. I blushed a little bit. She swam over and started talking to me about how much she hates it here, but loves break time, and pointing out at her friend. She was like Drake in the way that she loved to talk, but she liked talking about herself. Drake talked about other things. She was nice though. I had a girlfriend in at least a year. Plus, Drake had already warmed her up for me, so I asked her on a date. She quickly said yes. Chapter 17. 45 Seconds in Heaven. Drake's point of view. I miss hanging out with Jay during breaks, even if he meant... I cannot read today. I miss hanging out with Jay during breaks, even if it meant me sitting on my bed jamming out and him sitting at his desk with his head buried in homework. He was always talking to Rosie during breaks, or when he had to sit down to do homework, she comes upstairs just to drag him out like her little puppy. I shivered. I don't even remember why I suggested that he ask her out. She was the least favorite of all my friends, but I knew she adored him. And he needed experience. I guess I didn't exactly expect him to actually ask her out. Part of me wanted to say, no, she's not my type, or even better, no, I'd rather be with you. But maybe some girl time would be good for him. I can't be his only friend anyway. So Drake apparently, so I know that didn't make much sense, but Drake actually finds a liking to Jay a lot. I just hope she let him talk. Rosie is one of those girls who never stop talking every waking minute of the day. She has something to throw out of a conversation, even if it's completely unrelated to what the conversation is about. Nobody talks as much as she does. Sure, Drake. You talk exactly like her. I'm glad I don't talk a lot around Jay. He needs breathing time, so I have a tendency to lead guys on and then break them. It's something our circle of friends have seen and accepted, but if Rosie breaks his heart, I think I might lose all sanity. Really, you don't ever stop talking, Drake? Drake, you talk constantly. I was going to take Jay to a party on Monday. Tomorrow. Yeah, it's a school night, but it's okay because we have Tuesday off for teacher workday. Supposedly, it was going to be a fan-freaking-tastic party with a whole bunch of people around the area. When I mentioned the word party to Jay, though he kind of froze, I reassured him it wouldn't be a drag for the first time he went to. Jay, sit in the back with me, she said, smirking, rolling her eyes, and smiled and noticed a flicking in my ear after sliding into the back seat behind the driver. Jay sat next to her wearing the hoodie that he had brought to the park, but he never put it on. He caught my eye, and then I smiled, and he waved at me. And I looked away and turned the car on before he could notice I was smiling like crazy just as a reaction to his own smile. I've missed hanging out with you guys, I said as I started pulling out. What do you guys do on breaks anyways? Make out in Rosie's dorm? Jay shifted in his seat uncomfortable, and Rosie flicked my ear harder, this time glaring at me. I smiled and looked back through the front mirror, and I told them I was kidding. The moon lightened a bit, but Rosie and Jay had talked the whole way there. Well, Rose mostly, but Jay added the conversation too. I resisted joining in, so I often ended up turning up the music so I couldn't hear them anymore. They contemplated, but they started laughing when I turned Kesha on and began to freak out like a fangirl. You're so gay, Rosie. You're so gay, Rosie was cracking up. She laughed because I was acting like an idiot to my idiot self, and I laughed alone because it was true. I was so gay, and I even went to the length of opening a window and screaming, I'm gay, out into the world. Rosie and I were cracking up because she had known I was gay for a while now. She enjoyed making fun of me for it. Jay was smiling, but had an expression on his face that I just couldn't read. Welp, we're here, I announced, the parking on the street already lined with at least a dozen cars. Jay seemed to have forgotten about the whole gay thing because he jumped right out of the car and headed towards the front door behind me. Rosie clung to his arm. Jay's point of view. It was the most crowded house I've ever been in. I couldn't find one junior. Well, maybe there were some juniors, but even the juniors were huge. Were huge kids. Rosie was clinging to my arm the whole time. I liked the company, but at the same time, I couldn't even move anywhere. We lost Drake almost immediately after entering through the door. He was left winking at me, glancing between Rosie and I, as suggests that we have fun. I stuttered around though. Actually, I mean, Rosie was nice and all, but I couldn't imagine doing anything sexual with her. I felt bad, and it gave me the creeps. The one time she let go of my arm, I grabbed a handful of cheese balls and stuffed my mouth with it. I still feel guilty about this, but I used the free window of time to walk around the middle level of the house to find Drake and gain the feeling in my arm back. I turned the corner thinking I must have seen Drake, but I was grabbed by an arm and some tall blonde dude. He pulled off, or more like dragging me over a bunch of giggling girls, sitting on the leather couch. Alright, he said, smirking. Now you're gonna get an equal amount of boys and girls. Now we've got an equal amount of boys and girls. He still had a hold on my arm because we both knew I would have run away if he wasn't using the strength against me. I stared at him in horror. 7 minutes in heaven. Oh boy, here we go. I gulped down and slowly folded my legs so I was sitting on the floor. I suddenly felt nausea and leaning back against the couch behind me. One of the girls leaned her face down next to mine and smiled. She asked me what my name was. I was about to choke out a whisper, then I felt a hard slap on my back. The blonde guy said, "You're up." Smirked and smelled the bottle again. I sighed. The situation wasn't exactly foreign to me, but it didn't make it easier though. Once again, the bottle stopped. I followed the tip of the bottle it landed on. It was the girl next to the one who asked me for my name. They both giggled and whispered to each other, looking at me between words, but they were interrupted by the girl next to her, pushing her forward off the couch. I stood up, grimacing, and painfully made our way to the closet. The girl, who was about my height, giggled uncontrollably and closed the door, locking it. She gasped unnecessarily at the darkness in the closet. Her figure lurked toward me, but I was already backed in the corner, hoping that she'd take the whole seven minutes to find me. Well, it only took a couple of seconds, realizing I was hiding from her. "Damn," she kept laughing and murmured over and over, "You're hot." And that was when I realized that she was definitely drunk. I sighed and jumped when I felt her hands on my face, then began to slide down my body. I grasped and grabbed her wrist. She didn't take that well, and the fact she pulled free and slapped me across the face and pushed me up against the wall, and I hit my head. Ow! It had only been 45 seconds, but the door swung open, and Rosie looked between me and the drunk girl, who was still giggling, and shot me a death glare after slapping the girl across the face. She grabbed my wrist and yanked me out of the closet, causing the group on the couch to explode in laughter. But let me tell you, if there's one person you don't want to see mad, it's Rosie. Oh boy, Rosie's about to kick some ass. I have a friend a little bit like Rosie. Like, you don't want to see her when she's mad. Her name is Cheyenne, and she is technically somewhat like my older sister. Cause there's this group of friends that I have, Bobby and Cheyenne. It's kind of like a triangle of siblings. Cheyenne is older than me, and Bobby is younger than me. So Bobby and I became really, really close friends, and we call each other brothers. A lot of people who are really, really close friends, and they call each other, like brother or bro. We apparently established that Bobby is actually an adopted child. He is. And he thought of me as an older brother that he never had. So technically, I was like his older brother, and I was always telling him, what not to do. And I became his brother, and it kind of escalated, and we became almost like we were a thing. We never were a thing, though. But I acted like an older brother, and then Cheyenne came into this picture. And then she apparently decided that I was her gay best friend, and she did not, she fought for gay rights. She was a complete ally, and she pretty much would, be a bitch to anyone who was, making fun of me, because she could always tell, like, if something was bothering me. She would find the person, she would, like, force it on me, like, who said this to you, and then she would go off on this person. But yeah, she apparently became a sister of mine, so yeah, she is probably crazy. She's really crazy. But, the question of this video, do you like gummy worms or gummy bears, or do you like both? Personally, I really don't like either of them. I like sour candy. Sour candy is my favorite. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and until next time... Oh, by the way, the song is Let's Get Started by Black Eyed Peas. And until next time, gay is okay, just ask the GSA. Mwah!